welcome to part 2 of the 3-part series. So you're going to want to go back and listen or watch part 1, and then stay tuned, mark your calendars, or go and search for it now, depending on when you're listening to it, to catch part 3, which is going to be me answering my networks, my communities, my clients, my friends' questions about the interview. And I'm also going to talk about how to leverage your own interview. Enjoy. Okay, interview screening. Here we go. I'm going to get to it. That's what we're doing here. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the exclusive interview with Jack Canfield, where he asks me some burning questions about me, my passions, and the challenges my clients face. Here it is. I need to reshare with sound so that everyone gets it. Paula says, I like that. Protect the energy. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And share sound. Optimize for a video clip. Here we go. Drum roll. No drum roll. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Jack Canfield. You may know me as the co-author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, the book The Success Principles, featured teacher in the movie The Secret. I'm here with Diane Rolston, and we're going to have a great conversation about the amazing work she's doing in the world. Welcome, Diane.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here with you.
I'm glad you're here. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, Jack, I do two things. So one, I've had a lot of success as a certified life and business coach. I specialize in coaching high-level dynamic women as well as entrepreneurs. And I find that they're prioritizing success over their satisfaction in life. So I help them to rebalance their life while still being able to get to their goals quickly and powerfully. And because of that work that I do, I'm often brought in with my expertise to do keynotes, so fee-paid keynotes. I talk to women's groups, I talk to conferences, associations, corporations, and such. And they have me basically come in to be the person to inspire them, to get the event going, to share some of my strategies on leadership, success, also business and life. And so because of that piece, the coaching and the speaking and how I run my business, I've had people come to me and say, Diane, how do you do all that you do and still have a life and have a family? I'm married with 2 kids. And so there are a bunch of different things, as you probably know, that connect to someone's success. But one of the main things is because I have really, really great virtual assistants that help me behind the scenes. And so when people like these high-achieving women business owners like you say, oh, Diane, how can I do that too? And how do you hire them? How do you train them? What do you delegate? In that case, then I tell them I do more than just actually admin tasks. Because, a lot of people think, oh, a virtual assistant does your email and your calendar. But instead I do other things, kind of higher level tasks and projects with them. Things like they're going to do my social media content creation, management, technology, creating graphics, audio, video editing, all these different things that a business owner, a busy business owner has to do every day and just doesn't have time to do. So that's how the second business was formed, was I now consult, coach, and provide virtual assistant services for the busy business owners that I work with.
So you have virtual assistants that you've trained, that you help people hire? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I actually share with my clients a lot of my systems, my processes, and how I've been doing my coaching and speaking business. Plus I'm a podcaster and I have books and run summits and other things in a women's community called Dynamic Women. And with all of that, they're like, okay, cool, we can just take that. So it becomes really simple for them. It's like an easy recipe to follow. It's like ABC, 1, 2, 3, and I just connect all the dots for them.
It's interesting because I do a lot of consulting with entrepreneurs, usually startup people that are just starting out in small businesses, solo entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, whatever. And they always say, well, what's the next thing I should do? And I say, hire an assistant.
Oh,
it's
thank
the
you.
one thing, I said, the best thing you can do of anything is hire an assistant.
Yes.
And it could be a virtual assistant or someone local, whichever. But, half of my staff are people that started out as interns for free as assistants in my company, got to know them. They worked well, kept them around.
Mm-hmm.
And now they move on up, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's so important. And do you find that a lot of people feel like they don't kind of deserve it? They don't feel worthy of it? Or they feel like they can't afford it?
All of those things, all of those pieces. And I think it's based on what society has kind of drilled into them. This picture of this hard-working, 80-hour-a-week solopreneur that, like, you can't afford to have it yet. You're not allowed to have it yet. You shouldn't do it. Like, just work hard. But that's really not why people get into doing their own business. We're not meant to be doing every single aspect on that organizational chart. We're meant to stay in our core competencies.
You're passionate about what you do. Why so passionate? Where'd that come from?
Yeah, great question. I really want people to awaken. I want to provoke them to what's possible. I want to unleash the dynamic version of themselves. And so when I'm brought in to do a keynote, whether it's an opening, closing, whatever it may be, I often share one of the struggles that I had and one of the biggest learnings, which is stop measuring your life according to your success. See, what happens is people do that, and then they get into this place of, I'm only happy when I have success. But once they reach the success, they realize, wow, success is fleeting. And then they go chasing that next goal, that next high of achievement. But then they realize, I'm not even satisfied inside. And that's really sad. I see it a lot in high-level dynamic women, a lot of times in entrepreneurs, and they end up being overworked, overwhelmed, pulled in a million directions. And it's like they're on that hamster wheel, right? Like it's just going faster and faster and faster and faster. And eventually they fall off. And so instead, I encourage them, measure your life according to your satisfaction. And, if I was coaching you, Jack, I'd say, hey, let's use this tool and let's look at all the areas of life. And what do you want in every area? That's actually one of the hardest questions that people have to answer. You probably know
I do.
in your work.
Yeah.
And they go, what do you mean? What do I want? And to see the visual when they can score their satisfaction and ask in the future, what do you want in these areas? And when they get really crystal clear on that, they go, oh, this is great. I can choose what I want for myself, not just what society has dictated is successful, what they have decided. That really just confines and defines us. So I really want to be able to bring that to more people. And that's why it's really important for me also to donate my books and proceeds to women in shelters.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Now, there's a lot of people out there who say they coach people, they help them live more successful lives, whatever. And I think you've answered part of this by talking about satisfaction, but what makes your work different or unique compared to all the other people that are out there doing that?
Yeah, you're very right, Jack. And when I work with people, I give them strategies, I give them ideas, I give them a clear plan. I pull out of them what they really want. But a lot of other coaches say they do that too. I think the difference is I'm still in the game. I'm not on the sidelines. So I'm doing the coaching. I'm working on myself. I am constantly okay, how can I be more satisfied? And I'm doing all the things in my business, or at least overseeing them. So I'm still in the game, where I find a lot of other people, they don't have the experience I do, or they were doing this 10 years ago, or even just a few years ago. But if you're on the sidelines, you don't know what has changed in your ideal clients' lives, their businesses, with technology. And so because I'm still in it, I understand. I can really relate to my clients, to the struggles they've had, to the fears they have. And so because of that, I also feel it's really important that my clients get me. When they hire me, they get me. They get my consulting, my coaching, my speaking. They're not going to get someone under me. And so that's probably part of why I have over 1,000 plus 5-star reviews on social media, on other platforms. So that's part of it. I think the other piece is that I'm really aiming for a full transformation, not let's have a quick fix. Let's just make this happen overnight. No, I want a full transformation, a full shift, so that it can not just be in maybe specific situation, but that it can ripple out into other areas of life. Plus that they're a catalyst for change for others.
Yeah. Now, you alluded to one of these things earlier, but I'll ask you again. You see a lot of challenges out there in the world that people are having. What do you see the challenges that are most common, and how do you help people address those, overcome them?
Yeah, great question. It's funny because I love challenge. I grew up playing competitive sports, and so a challenge, I actually have to create challenge for myself so I'm not bored. But I know in this case you're speaking more about problems, right? Obstacles that people
Right.
face. And so when I'm coaching one-on-one or when I'm in a group program or even like a virtual session, I often hear from these high-level women, from these entrepreneurs, their challenges come up. So I'm going to share 3 challenges with you,
Okay.
and I'm going to share some that are pretty much universal to all. So the first one is that you just have to, here we go, you just have to balance work and life. You probably already know, you're like, that's a lie. So these challenges are all lies. So I'll say the lie and then I'll say the truth. So if you're just looking at work and life, they're not going to be balanced. Reason being is work is only one of the areas of life, right? So we need all of the areas of life. So people are always like, well, I'm never going to be able to balance that. For me, that was an eye opener. I'm a little bit A-type, recovering perfectionist. And so when I saw that, I went, oh, no wonder life's not balanced. It's not going to be. So once I started looking at the whole life, all 10 areas, that helped me to really allot where my time is. And so for my clients, I'm like, okay, so now what do you want in all these areas? How do you want things to be? And when you have that clarity, then you're going to be able to really put in the right amount of time, energy, and money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first lie. The second lie is something that you spoke about earlier, which is around you don't make enough or you're not big enough to hire or delegate.
Right.
And that is such a lie. Now, maybe, you're day one in your business. Okay, like let's figure out what you're going to do first. But it's really important for them to know that you can't not hire someone. And you've said that. But the thing is that people are thinking, oh, they're too expensive. But what I found in my experience is that actually they're a lot less than you think they are, at least in my team. And they're very highly competent. And so when they're able to take things off of your shoulders, you're going to have more time, more energy, more money. You're going to be able to increase your revenue. And the coolest thing is, what if the person you hired could actually earn you enough money to pay for themselves? Like that's the clincher there. That's what we're looking for. And the third challenge is something that I often see. It's usually in response to someone being offered a great opportunity, and they'll say, oh, I'm just too busy to take on anything else. Now, they're too busy to take on the wrong things.
Oh, I like that. Good.
They're too busy to take on the wrong things. They have time for the right things. But until they actually get the clarity on the things that they want in life, they're always going to be saying yes to the wrong things, no to the right things. And I've seen that happen with people get kind of their dream opportunities and they have to say no because they don't have the time, the energy, or the money. And that's just heartbreaking. So heartbreaking in those moments. I just want to be like, come on, you got to do this. And so that is one of the final challenge that I see for people. So they really need the clarity.
Cool. Well, if I was sitting here watching this and I was what I like to call a right fit client, someone that could really benefit from what you do, I would want to work with you because you obviously have the knowledge, the skills, the insights, the experience to really help people at a deep level. It's clear. Do you have any parting thoughts to someone who's watching this that might encourage them or give them ideas about how they might work with you or why they should?
Yeah. So I really hope that everyone's watching is going to grab a pen and write this down and really take it in. Because this is one of the key things that I had to learn myself, and that it's kind of a way of shifting in the people I work with, and that is you can't do it all yourself. You can't do it all yourself, right? And so, Jack, I want to ask you, like, you've never seen geese fly alone. No, right?
Nope.
They don't fly alone.
Right.
They fly in a V.
Right.
Now, why is that? Because they're in a flock, right? Or they're even a few, they're always in a V because they can fly further, faster together.
Right.
And you probably know in your industry and all the great work that you've done, there's such benefit to having a leader who is going to draft the path for you, and also to have those around you to be able to encourage you. But what I see oftentimes, sadly, in high-level women, in entrepreneurs, is that they come in that place of like, I'm going to do it, and they get burnt out, and they can't do it all, and they maybe give up on their dream, which is really sad. And so what I'm hoping is that those at home, those are watching, that they think about, wow, okay, so what do I need? I need my flock. Where am I going to find some people around me? So that's why I created the Dynamic Women Global Club. That's why I did group coaching masterminds, because the benefit of others around you, so that when you reach adversity, you're able to kind of come in with the group and have them support you. And you also need a good leader, someone who can coach you through, can guide you through to make it a lot easier. So I'm really hoping that people stop being that lone wolf, the silo, and that they embrace that more of a team mentality.
Yeah. I saw something the other day. It said, no one ever climbed Mount Everest without a team.
Oh, isn't that the truth?
You know, if you really want to get to the top, you can't do it alone. It's
No.
impossible.
No.
It would never happen. So, first of all, thank you.
Thank you.
You're very cool.
Oh, well, thank you very much. You are too. Appreciate it.
No, it's good. I mean, you're all watching this. I would want to encourage you to get in touch with her. I think all the things you talked about, the challenges that people have, you can't do it, can't afford it, all that. You know, if you're living in that, and you probably are, you need to stop and work with her. She can help take you from where you are to where you want to be. And I love the fact that you talk about the all the different areas of our life, because it's not, people say balance work and home. Well, work at home, that's spiritual growth, family time, hobbies, taking care of yourself, self-nurturing, exercise, you know, all those things that have to come into play, and having a life that can be fulfilling in all those areas of your life, which life is meant to be. So this is someone that can help you do that. So I want to encourage you to take advantage of the fact that she's available in the world, can help you, and also be part of that community she talks about that can give you the support that you need to fly with the geese. I love it.
Fly with the geese. Fly in your V.
There you go. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
That is the first time I've watched it. Because I hate watching myself. So if you're like that too, then I think it's pretty normal. Okay. A couple of things that already comes up. I wasn't even able to see the chat, but I'm curious a few things, like what did you notice? Like, what was your takeaway from the video? Or did you learn something from the video? Did you see the strategies that I put into place? We're going to kind of talk through these pieces. And let me just see the other things that were put down. Jill says, full transformation is so true for what you do. Thank you. Okay. Sandra says, thank you, Diane. You did an amazing job. Thank you for showing your vulnerability. You're welcome. Jill, you caught it. Jack says he wants to work with you. Now, he did it in such a good way. He's like, if I was that right fit client, I would totally work with you. And that was the time in the interview where I was like, cut, we're good. I don't have to. Actually, that took the pressure off, because I thought, if I don't say anything else, I've got that. But then he also said I was cool, which I didn't actually know at the time he said it, until right now that he said I was cool. Because actually, anytime he spoke, I was like, okay, there's going to be another question coming. And what's the answer to that? Jill said, I found his posture was not initially inviting for your passion. Oh, interesting. And Catherine, the whole person approach is amazing. Good. Glad you feel that. Thank you for listening to the watch party for the Jack Canfield interview. I hope that by now you've been able to really take in all three parts to this series, no matter what part you're listening to right now. And I also want to let you know that when I was done this session, the watch party that is, what I felt was, wow, I really kind of downplayed this. I really showed the vulnerability. I really showed the mistakes and shared all of that. But at the end of the day, I really wanted to make sure that I came back to say, this was a really, really phenomenal experience. This was such an amazing part of my journey, a really great milestone personally and professionally. And also that it has changed the way people view me. Yeah. And so it's based on who I've been around, who I call my coaches and my friends, what opportunities I've said yes to, and all the years of preparation that have really got me to this point where I could nail that interview. And if you heard the third part, where I share how Jack said to me, like, wow, you're really good at this. And so to have that feedback directly from someone who is so well known in the personal and professional development industry was a really good thing. And the bonus piece that I'll have to pop into the notes is the whole piece around his testimonial. It is powerful. I am grateful. And so as we kind of finish up here, I hope you'll take the time to go and check that out. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe and share this with a friend. Share all three with a friend who you think would benefit from this, who maybe have an interview coming up, or who just needs some inspiration for their own business about where they could go. Until next time, stay dynamic. Bye.